into some headlines, shall we? It's Gronk Day. It's always Davante Adams on Tuesday, and y'all just love coming on the show and making headlines. I love it. I love the FanDuel family here. Everyone's focused on where he's going. I would just like your sort of qualification or your thoughts when you heard this all go down.
Well, you're right, Kay. You've been making headlines a lot with Davante Adams, and we had a great conversation with him. And last night, I had ESPN on, and there you were, front page of ESPN with Davante Adams. I was like, there we go, Up and Adams show, baby. I'm on tomorrow, and I was bragging to all my friends I was with last night. I'll be on the show tomorrow night. So that was a cool situation. And so what was the question about Davante Adams again? Great landing spot?
What from his side, knowing what you know, great player, doesn't have a ring, sort of reportedly lets it be known that he'd like to be traded. Before we get to landing spots and all of that, what do you think of Davante Adams wanting to be traded and how it's being portrayed?
I think it's fair, and I think the way that they're both handling it, both sides, Davante Adams, how he's handling it, and how the Oakland Raiders are handling it, I think it's totally fair. I think they're both doing an exceptional job. I mean, he's been playing, and except he was out last week because of a hamstring injury, and I'm sure if he doesn't get traded and he's healthy, I think he should play in the game still coming up this week or the following week whenever he's healthy. And I think it's fair for the Raiders to go out there and see what they can get, the compensation they can get. And I feel like that they should shake hands, no bad blood at all, and say thank you for doing business over the last 2 years with you, Las Vegas Raiders. It just didn't work out. And then the Raiders get some compensation, sell him while his draft is high, while his stock is high, so they can build for the future. And Davante Adams, he still has a lot left in the tank. Yeah, he's more towards the end of his career, so you got to send him off to a contender. And he wants to win a Super Bowl, and he wants to win a Super Bowl now. So therefore, ship him off, get some draft picks for some compensation, and it's a win-win for both parties.
Where should he go?
It's either, I feel like a sleeper team would be the Pittsburgh Steelers. They can definitely use him over there. Another team would be the New York Jets, obviously, him teaming up with Aaron Rodgers. I think that would actually be the best fit, and I think that would be the best fit for the NFL as a whole as well, and it would be the best fit for fans. I would love to see him go back to the Jets and be with Aaron Rodgers again. I mean, that combo was unbelievable. And then another situation I would see him going to is the New Orleans Saints and teaming up with Derek Carr again. They can definitely use Davante Adams in the passing game. So those are the three teams that I see him possibly going to.
Let's see. I hope the control room can pull up the sort of the destinations that I laid out. Raiders included. There's a world, of course, where he stays in Vegas. You mentioned the Steelers. I don't know that I feel like that's a team that's going to win the Super Bowl. They could. Maybe it takes them over the edge. Where does he go? And then you say, yep, slam dunk, they'll be playing in New Orleans. I would say Packers. What do you think?
The Green Bay Packers, that could be another possibility. I mean, that would be an unbelievable weapon for Jordan Love, and he would go back to where he started his career. I feel like there was no, lost love when he left Green Bay. I feel like if he did go back, everyone would be, open arms and give each other big hugs. But I don't know. I just don't see Green Bay being Super Bowl
So which
ready.
team? Which team outside of the Chiefs? Of course, they add Chiefs if they do it, if they somehow find a way.
No, they can't send them to the Chiefs in the same division. You can't send them to the Chiefs. You can't do that.
You don't think so?
But I mean, Chiefs will obviously be the best team to go to. I mean, with Rashad Rice going down, but you can't send your best player to the Chiefs when you're in the same division.
Yeah,
can't do that.
Tell me this: if you're him and you're in this situation, you can speak. I mean, I think the Jets are the slam dunk, right? Just I don't know if it'll happen. There's a lot of characters involved that I don't have. There's going to be a lot of volatility, I think, in the whole situation. But if I'm him, that's where I'm going because I like Aaron. I know Aaron. I'm on his level, and maybe we can contend. Maybe I don't know. But speak to me about how meaningful it is when you're looking at that list, and not that it's his choice, but in terms of where his head might be with best fits. You went down to Tampa. And you said, I'm doing this because it's seamless. I'm going to pick, I can read Brady's mind. I can do that. Davante has that with Aaron. How meaningful is that?
It's very meaningful because you got to build up that chemistry with the quarterback, and it doesn't happen overnight. It literally takes years in order to get on the same page, to understand each other, to understand the way that, the guy that's throwing you the ball thinks, for the quarterback to understand the way that his wide receiver thinks. So it takes years and years of work, and that's why I wanted to play with Tom, you know, when he went down to Tampa, and that's why I wanted to stick with him, because when I was first with the New England Patriots, I was all over the place. Tom didn't understand me as a player. I didn't understand Tom, but we could see every single day that we were progressing to understand each other, that the chemistry was getting better every single day. So it's so much better to go into a situation where you already understand the quarterback and you understand where to be and you understand what he wants. So it is the best fit for him to go back to New York. I mean, not to go back to New York, but go back with Aaron Rodgers in New York. I believe he will elevate the team to a whole nother level. They need a true number one. Davante Adams will be it will raise Garrett Wilson's play as well, because he's a rookie. He can learn from Davante Adams. And then Lazard, that's a great player to be a number 3 wide receiver, and it'll just boost the offense big time. They need Davante Adams over there.
I think the Cowboys aren't going to go for it. Packers would be cute stories, so I root for it. I think the Saints are in play, but they got to move some decimal points around. But, I mean, the only thing with the Jets is if what he really cares about is a ring. And that's, do you go there to get a ring, or do you do everything you can to try to get to Kansas City and take less money and do all those things, you know?
Well, if he wants to truly be on the best team to go to the Super Bowl, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. But I just can't see that happening. Why the Raiders will send him to the Chiefs being in the same division, that doesn't make sense. But going to the Jets does give them an opportunity to contend for a Super Bowl, way more than being on the Las Vegas Raiders right now. It's so hard to say, hey, I want to go to a Super Bowl contending team and have a chance to go to the Super Bowl, and then actually go to the Super Bowl once you get traded to that team, because there's so many. You just want to go to a team that has, you know, the contention of getting to the Super Bowl. So that's the best way you can go about the trade, and the Jets have that. I mean, especially once they'll be elevated if they get them.